Hi, I'm Marita Erman. I am the Ag Education Instructor and a FAE Advisor at Finley-Sharon Public School in Finley, North Dakota. And today I am going to explain my Ideas Unlimited submission a little bit more, titled, I Would Love to Meet You. We're going to jump right into the overview briefly. So students are each given a scenario in which they're to make a small charcuterie board for a date in 30 minutes. Students are then given a list of requirements for their board and a list of ingredients that are available on a table for them to grab from, and 10 minutes to gather and plan their design before the timer starts to create their boards. They then are to present the board as they are in a date situation to panel of judges that ask questions about what is on the board and how it was made, evaluating their knowledge about meat science. The time frame for this entire project is approximately one class period with some previous prep, either by me, the instructor, or also by the kids in the previous day. Why? Charcuterie boards are trendy right now. They're fun. It grabs students' attention, it interests them, and makes evaluating skills fun. So they've probably seen a charcuterie board on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and they've never had the opportunity to make one. Um, they also get to share the board afterwards as a snack. This was used in my classroom as a project to evaluate students at the end of a meat science unit in an agricultural processing class. So I wanted to share the scenario on here. You are about to take a date with someone you found on farmersonly.com. Their profile states that their hobby is curing and smoking meats, aka charcuterie, and you want to impress them. You also have recently taken a class in charcuterie and want to show off your skills, hopefully wooing them into a relationship because you think they are cute. You must create a small charcuterie board for two using the meat products you made, plus crackers and other snacks. You are a procrastinator, one of your weaknesses, and you forget about it until 2 hours before and need to go to the grocery store to get a few things, leaving only 10 minutes to gather other ingredients from your pantry and only 30 minutes to make the board because the date is in your backyard. So this sets up time frames for them and gives them a fun little scenario. Like they've probably seen a farmersonly.com commercial on TV or something like that. It gives a few giggles to the kids, and it gets them ready and interested. The requirements that I had were working partners. Your charcuterie board must include two types of crackers, so Triscuits, wheat thins, garlic bread, pretzels. I gave them a nice little selection. 4 slices of each type of Canadian bacon. So we made 3 types of Canadian bacon previous to this and sliced them. So they made a spicy one, they made a maple one, and just a regular classic one. They also needed to have 4 pieces of cheddar, 4 pieces of pepper jack, 4 pieces of Kobe jack, and 12 1-inch pieces of snack sticks. They needed one other sweet item, so apples or fruit preserves, and 2 other salty items, so olives, peanuts, mixed nuts, mini pickles, that kind of thing. So I had all of these things on a table for them. This is what I could find at my local grocery store, in addition to the products that we made. So the things that they made were the snack sticks and the Canadian bacon. Everything was sliced up by the students on the previous day and kept in the refrigerator in little bowls ready to go when we started the class period, so we didn't waste any time. I had made some fun little crackers I added to it. I really kind of took the idea that I had and made it a lot of fun, not only for the kids, but for myself as well. That previous day, I also made a charcuterie board to share with the class that was very large, so that they had an idea of what a charcuterie board was if they hadn't seen one previously. The evaluation process, students must present the board to your date, the judges. So I used some teachers that had a prep period or an off period that they were free, explaining how we made the Canadian bacon, snacks, and snack sticks, and the processes and science behind charcuterie. So they needed to explain to their date what they made and how they made it. Students will be evaluated out of 10 for 3 things: for appearance of their board, were they creative, did it look nice, presentation and explanation, and then as well as work ethic during the activity for a final grade of 30 points. I could have used a more formal rubric. I just decided to make it easy. It was supposed to be fun for the students and for me. I was busy monitoring if they were working during the activity, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to snap pictures of them actually doing it. So the photos you'll see in a little bit are just the final products. I also had gloves on, just like the kids did, for food safety purposes, so I didn't want to handle my camera or anything like that. We then posted photos of each charcuterie board on the chapter's Instagram and Facebook pages, and we polled the public which one was most appealing. And the winning group will receive 2 bonus points on the assignment and bragging rights. So that gave a competition aspect to it as well, increasing the fun for the students. So this was my example to my students. I made a small board just to show them what it could look like. None of them looked anything like mine, which was the fun part. You can see I have a couple other things on there. I had some salami roses already made for the students. They had the option to use those. They didn't have to. So my list of requirements didn't have everything that I had available to the kids either. So the student results, these were the winners. It was a group of 2 girls that created this board. So you can see that they did a very good job. These students had seen a charcuterie board prior to me even making one for them. These are some close-ups of other boards that I thought were pretty neat. So you can see they all met the requirements or my little set of things that they needed on there. Most of them chose to put the salami roses on. We talked about salami. We didn't have the resources to make salami, just the Canadian bacon and the snack sticks. So practicality. It gives a creative spin on evaluating and enjoying meat products students have processed themselves in class. We'll see in the flexibility part of this or adaptability. If you can't make the products, you can at least have a lesson about how they're made and then purchase them. Most people will host a party in their life at some point, and making a charcuterie board is something they could add to entertaining their guests. This activity could either be used in an animal science unit discussing animal products, a meat science unit, or as I did in an egg processing class situation. So students could utilize other things they process, such as making their own cheeses. We did not save any of the cheese that we made in one of our units. I just chose to buy that and preserve fruits and vegetables, creating a capstone project for the entire class. I chose to do this around the holidays so that the students could use their skills possibly for a family gathering or something like that. Adaptability. The project gives opportunity for students to be creative in presenting something they've made, as well as using communication skills. So they actually have to talk to someone about what they did. Students see value because their parents are probably making charcuterie boards already, or they see that they can use in their future for their own gatherings. Like I said before, I did it around Christmas so that they could make a charcuterie board for their own Christmas party. Materials are flexible. Use what you have access to and can afford. Like I said, I just went shopping at our local grocery store. I didn't have very many cheeses to select from, so we just made do with what we could. You could add a lot more things if you have access to them or if you have a budget. I tried to keep this as low cost as I could as well. If the ability to make cured meats isn't available, like I said before, a lesson could be taught about them in advance and they could be purchased. Example, we didn't make salami. I don't have the place to ferment it with the right humidity. So we discussed how it was made, probably watched a couple videos on how it's made, and then I just purchased it. Instructional value. By having to present their boards, students are using communication skills, essentially teaching someone else about what they learned about meat science. Students are talking to each other face to face, even less than ever before, but the skill is still viable. The activity also makes them recall the processes they went through to get to the products they have in front of them, even recalling using math and science in the recipes. Food safety should also be covered in the activity, and students should be wearing gloves, like I said before, to assemble the boards because the meats are not served hot, and the ingredients should be properly refrigerated before assembly and serving. So this brings another aspect into that. You can talk about cooking to the right temperature, the nitrates, how that has an effect on food safety as well. And it just gives a fun opportunity to showcase all those skills. And to wrap things up, I just wanted to show the large charcuterie board that I presented to my students at the beginning of the class period the day before we made our small boards, just as a fun thing. So thank you for watching. and I hope you found it was useful.